Well, for the first time in 2 months, rain got in our way last night. The Lancaster Barnstormers and York Revolution never getting started for the second game of this scheduled 3-game series. Rain struck just as they did the day before. It actually hit earlier yesterday. They came through at about 5:15 in the afternoon, and for the second straight day, we had a gully washer, and it was just pretty much a compound factor that after all the rain Tuesday night, all the rain last night, and there was more rain in the forecast that I don't think ever actually came through York. They just decided to not play last night and reschedule it for down the road. The Barnstormers make one more visit to Peoples Bank Park in mid-September, so the doubleheader will be on September 15th. It would have been problematic to play two tonight, both teams facing longer bus rides in the morning. The Barnstormers will go to Long Island. You don't know if that's going to take 3.5 hours or 7. And York is on the way down to Gastonia, where that is likely to take about 8.5 hours. So with these two clubs having the bus trips and available dates down the road, the doubleheader is going to come up in September. So a single game tonight. It's the same pitching matchup, the same starting lineups that we expected to have last night. Duke von Schaman and Augie Silk are the opposing starters. For the Barnstormers, it will be Caleb Gindel leading off in right. The second baseman, batting number 2, is Blake Allemond. Blake Galen will bat third and serve as the designated hitter. Kelly Dugan will make the start at first base. He is in the cleanup slot. Trayvon Robinson is batting fifth, playing left field. Ladarius Clark will start in center and bat sixth. Anthony Peroni is catching and batting seventh. The third baseman is Nick Schumpert, batting in the number 8 slot. And Clea Luis Rendon is the shortstop. He is batting ninth. Augie Silk will make the start. It's his 12th. And he was doing pretty well for the first 8 of those. The last 3 have not exactly gone as planned. Silk trying to have a turnaround. He did for the first couple of innings in his last start and looks to improve upon that here tonight. Silk is 2-3 with a 9.95 earned run average. He'll be facing a lineup that will be led off by the right fielder James Harris. Second baseman, batting number 2, is Jack Kenley. Melky Mesa is in left field, batting third. The cleanup hitter is the first baseman, Nelly Rodriguez. Wellington Dotel will serve as the designated hitter. He will bat fifth. Osmi Gregorio is the shortstop, batting sixth. Andrew Dundon at third base, hitting seventh. The catcher in the number 8 slot will be Tyler Hill. And the center fielder batting in the number 9 slot is the longtime Barnstormer Darian Sanford. Duke von Schaman is on the hill. He is 3-5 coming in with a 6.20 earned run average. These two clubs are familiar with the opposing starting pitchers tonight. Silk making his 4th start against York. He has not been involved in a decision, however, and the Barnstormers will see von Schaman for the 5th time this year. He is 2-0 against Lancaster. So that is the matchup here tonight. We have to also pass along our sincere congratulations this evening to our 13th alum to head to the major leagues and our 6th to get there for the first time, Connor Overton. You may remember Connor. He made 9 starts for the Barnstormers in August and September of 2019. He went 3-5, but otherwise he was very strong. Excellent starting pitcher, went 6-7 innings every time out, always kept the Barnstormers in the game. And he was signed during the pandemic by the Toronto Blue Jays. He opened this season with their AAA affiliate in Buffalo, which was actually in Trenton most of the time. And he was dominating out of their bullpen and then as a starter. 2-1 with a 2.03 earned run average. Great strikeout to walk ratio. Well, he has been called up to the Toronto Blue Jays, so our congratulations certainly go out to right-hander Connor Overton, who has achieved his dream, and the Barnstormers played whatever small role that we were able to do that in helping Connor, the Richmond, Virginia area native, get to his major league dream. Everybody is in place out on the field, and we're going to send you down in that direction for the performance of our national anthem here this evening.
Angel Shaw for the performance of our national anthem presented by Americhoice Federal Credit Union.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing us that star-spangled banner yet wave. For the land of the free and the hope of the brave.
Coming your way from Peoples Bank Park in York, Pennsylvania, the Lancaster Barnstormers and the York Revolution. The War of the Roses continues. The Barnstormers, by virtue of the 5-2 victory here on Tuesday night, have a 10-7 lead in the War of the Roses. They need to win 3 more to get the cup back to the east side of the Susquehanna River. Duke Van Schamen on the hill tonight for the York Revolution. Van Schamen, a 6'4", 220-pound right-hander from Edmond, Oklahoma. He was a member of the Texas Tech Raiders baseball program. From there, he was drafted by the Los Angeles Dodgers in the 15th round in 2012. Spent his minor league career with the Dodgers and the Indians in affiliated baseball. 10-game winner for the York Revolution a couple of years back. And this year, Van Schamen is 3-5. His ERA at 6.20. But what York really has to like about Van Schamen is that he keeps the ball in play. He's walked just 26 batters in 78 and a third innings. He has struck out only 35. He has allowed 101 base hits, 30 of those against the Barnstormers, but he's 2-0 with a 5.16 ERA in his 4 previous starts against the Stormers. Caleb Gindel, Blake Allemond, and Blake Galen will bat for the Barnstormers here in the top half of the first inning. Alejandro De Aza getting a rest tonight. We could see him as a pinch hitter later on. He needed a little bit of a break. He's been playing a day in and day out, and legs a little bit sore. He can go if necessary, but the Barnstormers overloaded in the outfield anyway. So De Aza has the night off. Anderson De La Rosa, Jake Hoover also on the bench along with Devon Torrance, but all in line to pinch hit later on in this ball game tonight. First offering to Caleb Gindel, hit on the ground right side. Jack Henley makes a wonderful play going far to his left, and he retires Gindel. The out goes 4-3 on the first pitch of the evening, and that is Duke Van Schamen's MO. The right-hander loves to pitch contact. Gindel, with just about any other second baseman, probably has a base hit there, but Kenley was cheating toward the hole and able to get over and make the play going to his left. Blake Allemond steps in. Allemond with a big 2-run homer here the other night, his 7th against York, 13th overall this year. He takes a ball outside. It is 1-0. 303 is Blake's average. He's driven in 34 runs. 1 out, nobody on. Van Schamen comes back, and Allemond will look at a strike. It is 1-1. Steve Zawiski is signaling the balls and strikes here this evening with Jim Clayton at first base and Buzz Albert over at third. 1-1, the windup by Van Schamen and Allemond. It is low, and Blake will gain a 2-ball and 1-strike advantage. Designated hitter Blake Galen waits on deck. You know, we talk about Allemond's 2-run homer the other night, but Blake Galen might have had the biggest hit of that game because he got the Barnstormers offense unglued with an RBI double in the 8th inning that got Lancaster's first run on the board, and they went on to score 4 more after that. 3-1 now to Allemond. Van Schamen comes back, and guess what? He walked him. Just after I talk about Van Schamen's MO of throwing strikes and having the ball in play, he comes out and walks Allemond on 5 pitches. So the Barnstormers have a 1-out base runner And Galen stepping in. Blake, the DH tonight, batting .270 with 11 homers and 51 runs batted in. Since coming back from the Olympic Games, only 3 hits for Blake, but a couple of home runs and a double. And he has driven in key runs. He's knocked in 4. Here's a pitch, and that is outside. Ball 1-0 to Galen. Kelly Dugan, the first baseman, waits on deck. Infield set, double play depth with Osmi Gregorio at short and Jack Kenley at second. To Galen, he pops this up behind the pitcher's mound. Nearing second base and calling for it is Kenley, who surrounds it for the grab. 2 outs, and Dugan will step in. Alleman remains the runner at first with 2 gone in the inning. Dugan, a .333 hitter with 6 homers and 43 runs batted in. The Barnstormers have a tough lineup to wind your way through. Maybe not as tough here the last week or so because a couple of guys are fairly cold, but a lineup that has produced a tremendous number of runs over the course of this season. A pitch off speed into the inside corner, a strike on Dugan. It is 0-1. Well, the Barnstormers over the first 66 games with 492 runs on the board. That rounds to 7.5 runs per game, 7.5. Which is an incredible amount of offense. I've never seen anything like it. To Dugan, 0-1, and he drives this to center field. Charging in is Darian Sanford. He'll be there for the final out. Kelly mishit that, and the Barnstormers go down. No runs, no hits, no errors, and they leave 1 in the top half of the first inning. Augie Silk coming out for the Lancaster Barnstormers, the lefty with the start tonight. We'll go to the bottom half of the first inning. It is Lancaster 0, and York is coming up.
You can enjoy a night at the ballpark and help out the United Way of Lancaster County. All you have to do is spend 3 hours as an usher during a Barnstormers home game, and the ball club will donate $20 in your name to the United Way program of your choice. Be a friendly face, have fun, and raise money for your favorite local charity. To sign up, go to the LancasterBarnstormers.com website and head to the community link, and we'll see you at the ballpark.
Come to the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event for great deals on our full line of vehicles, each with our advanced standard safety technology like pedestrian detection.
Lease the 2021 NX300 all-wheel drive for $359 a month for 36 months with $29.99 due at signing.
See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg or Lancaster County.
Pre-collision system with pedestrian detection is not a substitute for safe and attentive driving practices. See owner's manual for additional limitations and details. Call 1-800-USA-LEXUS for important lease offer and pricing details. Not all customers will qualify. Offer valid in Lexus Eastern area only and ends August 2nd, 2021.
Left-hander Augie Silk with the start tonight for the Lancaster Barnstormers, the 23-year-old native of Pacific Palisades in California. Near Los Angeles, stands 6'4", goes 210 pounds. He pitched 2 seasons ago in the Kansas City Royals organization after being drafted from the University of Southern California, a guy who has not necessarily pitched his entire life. Told us recently that he didn't even play baseball until he was 12 years old, which definitely puts you behind schedule when you're growing up in the LA area, obviously a baseball hotbed. But he caught up, and while he has many good friends who are in the professional ranks, including one of his best friends, Connor Green, who just debuted with the Baltimore Orioles not terribly long ago, Silk is at least in the professional ranks and trying to work his way up. 2-3, 50 and 2/3 innings thrown. He's given up 62 hits and 61 walks. That's definitely been an issue. He has struck out 48. James Harris leading off against Silk here tonight. 301 with 2 home runs and 20 runs batted in. Silk ready to go. His first pitch is a strike to the outer edge. It is 0-1. Nick Shumpert over at third base this evening. The shortstop is Cleo Luis Rendon, Blake Allemond at second, and Kelly Dugan at first. Robinson, Clark, and Gindel the outfield from left to right here this evening. Silk finds the inside corner, and he's ahead of Harris at 0-2. Anthony Peroni doing the catching, working with Silk here tonight. No balls, 2 strikes, deep breath from the left-hander. He kicks, brings it home, and he's low and outside, but at 0-2. That's probably where he intended to be. Game time temperature this evening was 93. Heat index of 104. Next offering, just missing. Or no, that's strike 3 called. I thought it looked good. The delay a bit longer than I anticipated. And Steve Zawiski rings up James Harris. So Silk has his night. Started with a strikeout. Now facing left-handed batting second baseman Jack Kenley. 340 hitter with 6 homers and 33 runs batted in. Kenley joining the Revs out of the Detroit Tigers organization. He was let go earlier this year. And he has certainly pestered the Barnstormers pitchers. Line drive up the middle, base hit center field. Past a diving effort by Cleo Luis Rendon. Kenley is aboard with a 1-out single. It was Kenley who made the error that probably cost the Revs the game here on Tuesday night. It was a seemingly routine play with the bases loaded and 2 outs, and he made a low throw that handcuffed his first baseman, Nelly Rodriguez. And the Barnstormers were able to score the tying and go-ahead runs on the play. Kenley's been trying to make up for it. He singled in the bottom of the 9th inning that night off of Scott Schumann. And now with a 1-out base hit off of Augie Silk in the first inning of tonight's game. We have our second base runner of the night. The pitch to Melky Mesa, sliced toward right center field, down for a base hit. Cutting it off is Clark. He'll make the long throw to third. It's offline, and runners are at the corners with 1 out. Little bit of a gamble to run on Ladarius Clark at any point, but the Revs were in pretty decent shape as Mesa found a spot in right center field, and Clark had to turn around to make the throw. If Ladarius is behind that throw at the same point in time and can line it up, the out very possibly could have occurred at third base. So runners are at the corners. Here is the first baseman, Nelly Rodriguez, 373 with 8 homers and 33 runs batted in. Clark arguably has the best outfield arm, not necessarily the most accurate one, but the strongest one that the Barnstormers have had in a long, long time. First and third with 1 out, and the first pitch is ball 1 off the inside corner to Rodriguez. So Silk, after striking out Harris to start off the night, finds himself in a tight spot, back-to-back singles. Mesa with his 25th hit of the season series in 54 at-bats. 1-0 to Rodriguez, and Silk's pitch is a tad low, 2-0. We talk about Augie and the 61 walks he has allowed in 50 and 2/3 innings. He is not horribly wild. You've just seen situations all year like these last couple of pitches that are just off here and there. Line drive, there's a base hit into left field. 3rd in a row for York. Jogging home is Kenley. Mesa will stop at second. And the Revs gain a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning with their designated hitter Wellington Dotel coming to the plate. 359 for Dotel with 5 homers and 17 runs batted in. When York played at Clipper Magazine Stadium last week, Dotel was out of the lineup. He's back as the DH here on Tuesday night. He was 0 for 3 before coming out when starter Eduardo Rivera came out. They still have Mesa at second, Rodriguez at first, and just one out in the inning. One run home for the Revolution. The Barnstormers totally accustomed to giving up the first run of the game. First pitch, good for a strike on Dotel. Silk works ahead at 0-1. Osmi Gregorio, the shortstop, waits on deck. The Barnstormers have only scored first in 24 out of the 67 games this year. Swing and a miss. And Silk works ahead of Dotel, no balls and 2 strikes. One of Dotel's strengths in many ways is his unpredictability at the plate. He'll swing at pitches out of the zone and tattoo them. Other times he'll be a very patient hitter. You really don't know what to expect, so you don't know how to set him up. One out, first and second. The count is 0-2. Silk will deliver, and that is just out of the zone for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Dotel. Silk would love to get a ground ball at an infielder here. Mesa off second. Rodriguez leading from first. Dugan playing behind him. Here's the 1-2, a swing and a miss. He's automatically out with first base occupied, so Peroni needn't lay the tag on, but he did anyway. Silk records his second strikeout, and now Osmi Gregorio will step into the batter's box. York is off to a poor start here in the second half, just 1-5. The Barnstormers in first place by half a game over the Long Island Ducks in the Northern Division. But don't think for a minute that York will not be a factor in the second half. They've struggled to find pitching as well, but this lineup is pretty solid, and it will get stronger when the Mexican League comes to an end. 2 outs, Mesa at second, Rodriguez at first. The question is, can they bludgeon people to death every night? And that's basically what York has been able to do to stay in the race for the most part in the first half. A ball is outside, 1-0. The Barnstormers lead the division and lead the wild card race, but obviously things are very tight, and there's a long, long way to go. So the Barnstormers need to keep on winning. They've won 3 in a row. Chance to win 4 in a row for just the second time this year here tonight. Fouled off to the right side by Gregorio. Silk is even with him at 1 ball and 1 strike. I think it would be a huge confidence lift for Augie to be able to get out of this first inning with just the 1 run on the board. 3 solid singles for the York Revolution. But the strikeout of Dotel giving Silk the second out of the inning. He's working on Osmi Gregorio with an even count of 1 ball and 1 strike. Defense back now with 2 outs. Silk glancing around, checking mostly the lead runner, Mesa at second. Gregorio goes chasing wildly. Fastball high and outside. He goes after it, and it's 1-2. Noel Polanco coaching third for the Revolution. Sandy De Leon is over at first base. Augie Silk close to being out of the woods here in the first inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Gregorio looks at strike 3 on the outside corner. 3 singles and 3 strikeouts for Silk here in the opening frame. It is a run, however, for York on the 3 hits, no errors. 2 runners are stranded, and at the end of an inning at Peoples Bank Park, York with the early jump. It is the Revs 1 and the Barnstormers nothing.
Hey, $2 bill here, a.k.a. the rare one. Problem is, I'm so rare, people just saved me. But thanks to the new Cash Vibe with Quick Cash from the PA Lottery, I'm back in business. For just $2, you can get bigger jackpots starting at $150 grand. Plus Quick Cash, a chance to instantly win $2 or $6. Haha, it's good to be wanted.
Play Cash 5 with Quick Cash from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
When everyone has a different craving, Wegmans Meals to Go has it all. All right now, all in one delivery. Pizza with the kids' favorite toppings. A delicious sub made the way you love. Fresh sushi for the whole group, and so much more. It's how busy people get busy eating the meals they love. Order on the Meals to Go app or at mealstogo.com to make everyone happy. Wegmans Meals to Go. All your favorite meals, all in one delivery.
The Barnstormers down by a run against Duke Van Schamen, the right-handed starter. He'll face Trayvon Robinson, Ladarius Clark, and Anthony Peroni as we go into the top half of the second inning. A one-run lead for the York Revolution. The throw from Tyler Hill going into center field, backed up by Darian Sanford, but that's before the inning gets underway. You might see the Barnstormers test Tyler Hill at some point here tonight. Robinson leading off. His average has dipped all the way down to 258 now. 8 homers and 39 runs batted in for Robinson on the season. 0 for 3 in the series opener here on Tuesday night. Defense will play straight away against Robinson. The Van Schamen pitch. Trayvon shows bunt and looks at a ball outside 1-0. Despite the lack of base hits for Robinson, he still had a pretty decent eye, and he's drawn a substantial number of walks. 1 ball and nothing. Van Schamen will deliver, and Robinson drops a bunt down into a foul territory, and he'll run after it and pick it up. He kicked it while still in the box, I believe. So it's a ball and a strike to Robinson, trying to use the bunt to stir things up, get himself going. Robinson, a very hard-working fella. It's amazing. He's just 10 for 70 now in his last 22 ball games. 1-1 to Robinson. Big swing and a miss. Van Schamen has him at 1-2. But Robinson, a guy who certainly has proven himself in a Barnstormers uniform since joining this club in July of 2016. 1-2. Check swing. Did he go? No. The pitch had gotten away from Hill. It's 2-2 on Trayvon. That's a tough position for a hitter to be in, a check swing on a pitch that gets away, because if you run to first, you're admitting guilt. Sort of like running from the police or something. It's like you're admitting that you did something, kind of. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And a Robinson fouled off to the left and out of play. Trayvon did have a big game against the York Revolution on Thursday of last week. He had a 2-homer game. Here's the wind, the 2-2, and he fouls another one off. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Clark on deck, and then Peroni. But if you stay in the box and it's ruled that you went around, then you're toast when you could have been on base. Fouled off again. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. So what do you do? It's really a tough call. As a hitter, you probably have a good idea which way the umpire on the appeal will go. So if you're pretty sure you went around, take off. If you think you've held on the swing, don't. Here's a 2-2 on Robinson. Ground ball, second base, and it is mishandled by Kenley. This one just came up on him, and he couldn't find the handle. It looked like it hit him in the heel of the glove. Popped up in the air, no chance for a play, and the Barnstormers catch a mini break. Trayvon Robinson reaches on an error, moves to second on an error. And the Barnstormers have 3 chances to pick him up. Clark, Peroni, and Schumpert, all right-handed batters in this section of the lineup. Robinson leading off second. And the 0-1. Clark tries to drop a bunt down, fails to do so into fair territory. It is 0-2 on the center fielder. He has 4 of his home runs against the York Revolution. This has been a high-scoring season series. Tuesday night's 5-2 result, pretty much the exception to the rule. You see some big numbers from both sides, individual hitters, against this particular opponent. 0-2 to Clark. Von Schaman deals inside, almost hits him. 1-2, Peroni waiting on deck. Barnstormers managed only 4 hits here on Tuesday. Still scoring 5 runs. 1-2 to Clark. He swings and misses. The bottom fell out. Actually nicked it foul. It's held by Hill. 1 out in the inning, and Anthony Peroni will step to the plate. Over the last 3 games, the Barnstormers have 23 runs on 21 hits. Now, they're certainly economical, but for the first time all year, this club is not swinging the bats really well. They're still scoring runs, so you can't complain if you go into a bit of an offensive funk in terms of base hits and team batting average, but you keep scoring enough to win. Well, what happens when you turn it back on again? 1 out now with Robinson at second. And to Peroni, ground ball on the left side. Into the hole goes Osmi Gregorio. He slips a little bit, but he's got the catcher running, and he's able to right himself and make the throw. Peroni is retired. That's the 2nd out of the inning, and Nick Schumpert, the only guy now standing between Von Schaman and an escape to this inning he didn't create. Robinson still at second. Gregorio made a good backhanded stop, and obviously he had a play. Peroni is not a fast runner. But when he slipped, it looked like he might go down, and Peroni might be able to escape and get on, but Gregorio very quickly regained his balance, and he made a perfect throw. Peroni was still a ways away. 2 outs. Robinson still at second, and now to Schumpert. Good cover up by the catcher Hill. Ball 1 and no strikes. Clea Luis Rendon, the shortstop, is the on-deck batter. Dugan and Alamond right now are the only 2 Barnstormers that you could consider to be hot at the plate. I guess you could throw Clark into the mix with his recent string of successes as a pinch hitter. Gindel and Galen are in and out, making significant contributions at times. 1-0 pitch. Back to the inside corner, and a called strike on Schumpert. It is 1-1. Duke Von Schaman working with a 1-0 lead here in the top half of the 2nd inning. 2 outs. Trayvon Robinson aboard at second. He was there with nobody out. Oh and 1 fastball reaches the outside corner, grazed the edge. Von Schaman, who has excellent control, generally speaking, did give up a walk in the first inning, has Schumpert down in the count. Robinson with the lead off of second. Von Schaman into the dirt. And again, the stop made by Hill. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 strikeout for Von Schaman in the game, 1 walk. He is yet to allow a base hit. The Barnstormers only had 1 hit in the first 7 innings here on Tuesday, and then broke out of the shackles the last 2 innings against some pretty good left-handed relievers. They got to Paredes and Fuller for the runs on Tuesday night. And a Schumpert 2-2 pitch. He just stays alive. Little dribbler foul up the third baseline. Able to make contact. Still 2-2 to the Barnstormers' third baseman. Schumpert mostly drives the ball when he squares it up to the right side. That could change against Von Schaman. In fact, Darian Sanford is cheating toward left center field. Nick Schumpert batting at 2-2. Robinson leads off second. And to Schumpert, the pitch is skied foul off to the right and out of play as Nick continues to battle against von Schaman. The count is 2-2. The Barnstormers have seen von Schaman in 5 of the 6 series between these two ball clubs. Two, the continuing count. Hill sets the target. Von Schaman checks Robinson and to the plate. Ball 3. Again, Hill is sent scrambling. Schumpert bats with a full count. This has been a lengthy at bat for Nick and trying to produce the Barnstormers' first run of the game to tie things up here. Three-two to Schumpert, and the pitch. He reaches out and spoils another. The count still full with Rondon waiting on deck. York 1, Lancaster nothing. Second inning of baseball. 3 straight singles against Augie Silk in the first inning, and then he settled down and struck out Dotel and Gregorio back-to-back. Here's the payoff, and it's grounded off the glove of von Schaman, but deflects right to Kenley, so they will get the out, 1-4-3, ending the inning, and the Barnstormers cannot take advantage of the 2 errors that started things off in the top of the second. No runs, no hits, 2 errors, 1 man left on base, and at the end of 1.5 tonight here at Peoples Bank Park, it is the Revs 1 and the Barnstormers nothing.
Bummer, the Barnstormers are on the road and you're looking for something to do. Clipper Magazine Stadium's big screen in left center field. Showtime is 7 p.m. For more information and movie listings, go to LancasterBarnstormers.com and click on the events page.
72 years and 4 generations and still going strong. We are Gochnauer Appliances in East Petersburg, and we want to be your appliance store now and into the future. We sell all the best brand names of appliances at the very best prices. We also deliver, install, and service what we sell.
Play their next 6 against the Long Island Ducks, 3 at Fairfield Properties Ballpark, and then 3 at home next week. Popped up foul and out of play. On tap next week, the Boosters will be presenting their Player and Pitcher of the Month. And something that just popped in, Greek Heritage Night next Thursday. The payoff, fouled, out of play, still 3-2. I don't know all of what that will entail, but hopefully there's some Greek food on the premises. 3-2, Silk into the motion, and he misses inside. Dundon works out the 7-pitch walk. First given up by Silk in the game, but now he's got to face Tyler Hill with a man on, nobody out. Hill batting .221 with 12 runs driven. Something else up here in the second inning. I am a big fan of Greek food. Infield set, double play depth. First offering, a strike to the inside corner. It's 0-1. Upstairs, and a 1-1 count. Give me a spanakopita or a Greek salad or a chicken souvlaki or the count on Hill. Dundon, not much of a lead off first, swinging a foul back. Silk ahead of Hill at a ball and 2 strikes. I love ethnic festivals. And I've been to a number of different festivals from different ethnicities in my travels. Little fly ball out to shallow right center field. That gets down for a base hit. So they're now 4 for 4 when they put the ball in play. Not exactly roped, but it's hit them where they ain't time. First and second with nobody out, Darian Sanford coming to the plate, and you might look for a bunt here. Sanford is batting 182 with a homer and 8 runs batted in. When I was growing up in Rochester, New York, which is a very heavily Italian community, they always used to have the La Fiera Italiana, the big Italian festival. That was always a great time. I've been to Latin American festivals, really enjoyed my time there. I think I've been to Jamaican somewhere along the way. I think it was in Bridgeport. I was just passing through, stopped for a few minutes anyway. I think they're great. Popped up by Sanford on the bunt try, fouled back up top. It is 0-1. I would be interested in attending just about any one of those at any time. Sanford appears to be swinging away. He checks on the swing in time, and it is 1-1. That would be caught, that the runners Dundon and Hill were able to easily return. First and second with 1 out. James Harris will step to the plate. Again, our apologies in case you did not hear me the first time that the software that we use to send you these games is, for some reason or another, having an occasional hissy fit tonight and freezing up. If it continues, I'll reset everything, which will probably take me about half an inning. But this happened the other night, too, in the early innings, and we were good to go from there. First and second. Dundon still the runner at second. And aboard at first base is Tyler Hill. The motion by Silk, the pitch. Harris started, and this time he commits. It is 1 ball and 1 strike. I have a visitor in my booth. One that has wings and crawls on 6 legs. And I'm not sure exactly what it is, so I'm going to leave it be. 1-1, infield set, double play depth, and Silk has one get away. It goes all the way to the backstop, just about on the fly, a wild pitch. We'll send Dundon to third, Hill to second with 1 out. James Harris has the advantage in the count, 2 balls and a strike. First base open, but you don't want to use it here. The Barnstormers haven't been able to get anything done offensively, and they've just got to keep York from pulling away in the early innings. The Barnstormers are a great comeback team this year, something we haven't always seen. But this club really has a knack for playing from behind, as long as they're not too far behind. Inside and low, that one gets away from Peroni as well, and coming home to roost is Dundon. His back-to-back pitches have been wild. Hill up to third, and it's 3-1 to Harris. 2 straight wild pitches. The first one, Peroni didn't have a chance, and the second one was difficult. He would have had to have shifted to his left. There was a very sharp break and drop at the end of that pitch, and I'm not sure it was quite the pitch that Anthony was expecting, and he wasn't able to shift behind it. Tyler Hill over to third base with 1 out. James Harris batting at 3-1. And Silk will fire and miss low. Second walk of